The Standard Chartered idea that's currently on in the market, in the primary market, is the first of its kind. Clearly, it's the first idea that's hitting the Indian market. There's a lot of curiosity around the product. Typically, to put it simply, it gives Indian investors an opportunity. Indian investors of both hues, both institutional as well as retail, the opportunity to participate in an international stock, in stock of an international bank, which they otherwise would not have very easy access to. Of course, the RBI does permit overseas investment up to a certain limit, but the procedures are trifle cumbersome. This would be an easier way of accessing those shares. 10 ideas is equal to 1 share, and the shares are listed at the London Stock Exchange as well as that of the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. And the ideas would be the third listing as far as Standard Chartered Bank goes. It makes great sense for Standard Chartered Bank to list in India, amongst other things. One, it enhances their goodwill, their presence in India, and more importantly, to my mind, I think the idea has become a currency for a scenario where buyouts are possible for them in the banking sector. Clearly, the emerging scenario in the banking sector could be one of buyouts where a foreign bank can buy out a local bank, and at that point in time, these ideas would come into play. Clearly, the quantum of funds being raised are not of the kind that Standard Chartered would be salivating about, so it's not really about capital raising. As far as investors go, I think the foreign institutional investors are likely to be too excited with this for the simple reason that they can always pick up the stock in the international markets. The Indian mutual funds, I think, would be the primary targets. You already have seen some of them who have been roped in as anchor investors. As for the retail investor, there is a tax question mark. Their dividends would be taxed, the capital gains tax would be applicable to them, and that would be a new experience because for 3 or 4 years Indian investors have had the benefit of zero capital gains on long-term capital gains. So they've got used to that zero tax scenario. This will take some getting used to. The argument put forth by the company is that once the direct tax code comes into play, everything would get equalized. But when and if the direct tax code comes in is a big question mark. Finally, if you look at the fundamentals of this bank, they are probably demanding a price to book of around 1.5 plus for calendar year 2010 and a little less than that for calendar year 2011. If you compare it with their peers in the overseas markets, it's a trifle steep. But then, having said that, this is a bank that survived the 2008 storm fairly well. It also has presence in the right markets. Much of its revenues come from the Asian region, and to my mind, I think India is going to be the biggest emerging market, and that augurs well for them, and makes it that much more important for them to be listed on the Indian bourses. So typically, a long-term retail investor who's willing to overlook the short-term tax implications might want to participate in this issue. It would make greater sense for the participants to be bidding closer to the lower end of the band because that's where the valuations look fairer. Overall, I think this is not the kind of issue that where you play a hit and run. It's the kind of issue you want to hold in your portfolio for the simple fact that there is no alternative of a similar kind available. It's the kind of stock you allocate a small portion of your portfolio and hold for a while for it to flop.